I don't know about you guys, but I'm really tired of mirroring something and then there's mirror lines on it. It's super annoying. And this operator is just standard, the one that's inside of Blender. And so if I mirror this, I'm going to get this line across here. And if I go to the Y and mirror it, I'm going to get that line across. And that is super annoying. I don't want to keep coming in here and selecting the edges, blah, 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 hitting X and dissolving the edges. So that line stays, right? Not anymore, because now with the Mirror Machine pie menu, which is going to have a little room for some extra operators I have planned, which are going to be very powerful. So all you have to do is grab your object you want to mirror and just take a front-facing view, whatever, kind of start from 1, if you will. And then you can mirror left and right on the X. So we're going to mirror, and now that 1 is gone. And if I mirror the other way, and then mirror back on Y, they're gone. It's all gone. That's in the operator now. And if you want, you can mark all the edges sharp. Let me just clear this. I'll clear my sharp. There's a sharp operator now. So if you grab a mesh object with P, which is the pie menu, you can mark the edges. And it's automatic. It's just going to jump into edit for you. As you can see, it's all there. If I go here, you'll never even see it, but it's there. And I hit the wrong thing for that one. No, I didn't. There we go. So we're good. And if I hit the edges, yeah, it's supposed to show you the edges for a second. You got to give it a second and it'll show you. Yeah, and then it goes away. So now everything's marked sharp pretty quick, and you don't have those mirroring lines anymore. Super annoying. So let's just start off with that wonderful cube. I'm going to go ahead and run a couple of bevels on this. Something like that. And the carver tool is here. Turn that on with one click. And I've got a full advanced tutorial on that. And I got the cursor depth on. I got to turn that off. That's annoying. Let's try that again. There we go. So now it cuts through. And then you get this deviation in the mesh where you can see this. You can see all the bevels. And normally if you were to shade auto smooth, which is from Blender 4.0 and below, not 4.1 and further up, it's not working anymore. So then you got to go back and shade it flat. But I got a fix for that too. So if you hit P in the pie menu, you can now add the auto smooth geonodes, and it cleans it up real nice. If you want, you can add a weighted normal. Keep the weighted normal at the bottom. It's going to come on, keep sharp automatically. So you just have a super clean mesh. Now you can start working with confidence across this. You can do all this stuff and you're good. You won't have any more of those dissolve lines. That's a done deal. And then, if you're grabbing an edge, let me do an apply here. And if you're beveling some other edge, and this is just something I probably wouldn't do, actually, funny, kind of looks good. You'll now have this. If you turn that off, you'll see how that operator is actually working. Not operator, excuse me, the geometry nodes. And if you don't know what it is, then you can see, and I'll have to activate that. There we go. This comes standard in Blender 4.1. You can find it with the Shift A menu, and you just come down. It'll be in the groups somewhere in there. And ultimately, that's what Blender's going to anyways. The devs are going to have a geometry nodes version of the modifier. So that's kind of the direction they're going until something changes. This is a node group that you can automatically import via the add-on. So just delete it, come up here, boom, it's putting the node group in and applying it to the mesh that you have. Remember, keep your weighted normals at the bottom, otherwise it's going to look jacked up. And you don't want that. So once again, you can just swipe. I'm not clicking, by the way. There's zero clicking going on. And that goes for the operators that are the up, down, the left, the right, and then the Y. You'll have to click on these things. Obviously, you're not going to swipe just perfectly to what you want. But you can do that. You can definitely just swipe all these different directions up and down. and you'll never get any more of those lines you have to dissolve. And you don't have to push those buttons, which is nice. And let's say for some reason you have modeled back on the Y, no big deal. Just select everything, rotate it by 180, apply the object transform, and then you can slam all this back to the Y and it will go. Otherwise, you just don't have a very good and very fast pie menu. And that's it. That's some of the bigger updates. Like I said, you'll have some more things coming in here. You got some origin to geometry and origin to cursor here, and then just the swipe menu. And then you got to shade flat if you need it, because that way you get stuck in your different Blender versions and auto smooth isn't working. You'll have to shade it flat to go back. That way you can add the other stuff to it to make it look good, like the weighted normals and the auto smooth group. But I hope that was somewhat enlightening for everybody. You can go pick up the add-on on the Blender Market. It is 40% off until Friday. So if you're interested, go do it. Also, before I am completely done here, there's a ton of stuff to cover, other than the fact that there's a massive model, hard surface model menu in here, and it's like crazy. And then you've got the little micro menu now. You can kind of come in here and select different parts. You can bring it in snapped, linked, append to the cursor, and there's an object transform here, and then there's a cursor corrector. There's a switch gallery. You can upload your own blend files right here. So when it downloads and hit OK, your blend files now become something you can load inside of here, and then it'll turn into a gallery display. And so whatever you select, give it a second, and then it's going to load. And there's no icons for these. I have special icons in the other gallery. So if you switch the gallery, you'll see that there's icons for these because I made all of those. I did all those. But for your own blend files, I can't make icons for those. Other than that, go to the documentation and the product page here for the add-on, and there will be more information on all of the updates. You'll be able to turn on and off the auto smooth operator here. If you turn this on, then at the end of the mirror operation, you get auto smooth, and that will be how you'll handle being in Blender 4.0 and below. But it comes default off, so you have to turn that on if you want it. Otherwise, I'm sure you've got it maybe like in your quick menu, like I do. Got shade auto smooth in the cube menu. Now you could change the pie menu here. There is a custom Discord as well, and there is a custom right-click menu that does not necessarily work in 4.1. Have to work on that, but it's just a duplicate of what you see here. It's nothing special. It's just a duplicate of all of this stuff right here. But I will get to updating that at some point soon. That's it. Go pick up the add-on. Make sure to rate it if you do buy it. I really appreciate that. Kind of helps my exposure and helps me kind of promote the channel and everything else that I'm trying to do. See you guys in the next tutorial lesson.